Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 11th episode of Networking and Beyond. Today we have with us Mr. Venkatesh, who's a real estate agent. He has an amazing track record both in BNI and in business. He was the past Secretary Treasurer of the Vega chapter, and his track record speaks for himself. He has the credibility of selling 20 apartments and 75 individual sites in just 6 months. So, without further ado, let's welcome our next guest, Mr. Venkatesh. Mr. Venkatesh, welcome to Networking and Beyond. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Lalit. Thank you for inviting for the podcast. And this is my first podcast.
Oh, that's great. And everybody has a first time. And speaking of first times,
Yes.
you and I, we met in the BNI platform. And when we exchanged a word, I got to know that you were into the real estate market. And as growing up as a child, I've only heard my parents speak about the real estate market, but I've never had deep insight. And I hope this podcast, I'm going to have some deep insight to it. So, Venkatesh sir, we all know that you're a real estate agent. But before we get there, what were you doing before that? What was life before you became a real estate agent?
Before coming into real estate, I was into insurance industry where it was a hardcore sales.
Okay.
So everybody knows about insurance industry, how difficult it is. So I came from that background where I started as an agent and then into manager levels and then that is how I have grown. After 2012, I started my own career in real estate. So it was a very tough situation where I have to leave the insurance industry and come into the real estate.
In the insurance industry, you said it's hardcore sales, right? Did it ever help you in the real estate industry? Is any of those learnings?
See, definitely, it's all experience is what makes you groom. In that way, hardcore sales have given me a good opportunity to handle clients. And that is how this product is different, but the strategies and efforts is continuous always.
It's pretty much the
Yes,
same.
pretty much the same. So the product is different. So we are selling apartments, properties now, and earlier it was insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah.
So when you got into the real estate industry, you said it was challenging. What were some of the learnings that you had in the industry? What did you understand about it?
In real estate industry, we have seen most of the properties like apartments, plots, appreciations and legal, approved, non-approved. So we have been seeing lot of jargons in real estate. So most of the people doesn't know where to invest, what is the areas where they have to invest, what is a good property, how the appreciation happens. So these are some jargons which in real estate industry everybody knows.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sir, was there any specific reason as to why you got into the real estate industry?
Previous when I was doing insurance, we had a bad experience. One of my friend, he was into commodity market, where doing all golds and currency business, and he asked me to invest some amount. I invested by taking my credit cards. I invested around a decent amount of in commodity market, where that went to a loss.
Okay.
So and he could not handle my accounts.
Okay.
So having that also into burden, I choose to come to the real estate. So that is a life changing moment where I choose real estate from insurance to real estate.
I'm pretty sure that, solving this through your credit cards
Yes.
was not the ideal way to go. And you also had a lot of financial burden, and you also had some changes in your life at that point of time in 2012. You were getting married.
Yes, I
also.
got married in 2012, and that was adding one more person into life and going together was another challenging point. So having those 2 points, it's not only servicing with insurance. Then I realized let me come into the real estate sector, where in 2012 that was the booming sector.
Okay.
Where it was liberalization happened and most of the developers started doing multiple projects. So then I chose the finance is there.
But I also think not many people who are listening right now know one more reason as to why you left. It was also that one of your previous company bosses asked you to leave for a specific reason. And you were telling me about this in our previous conversation. And I think you should share what happened there, with your boss. Why did he ask you to leave, and what was the instance?
See, if you take any company, when you're doing good, there will be some people who will be behind you not to do it. So I was doing a very good, decent business in real estate, and at that time, most of the people have like they are my colleagues, but sometimes they could not compete with the targets which they had, and they in turn gave some tips for my boss, saying that some reasons, and my boss didn't verify what it is been the reason, and then my boss, without any rechecking it, he told me to leave, and soon after 15 days of me living there, he verified no, it was not true. So whatever the inputs he got, it was not true, and again he called me back within 15 days. So then I told, see, it's like trust, when we have both understanding and the trust, once the trust goes again, I cannot patch up it. So I rejected him two to three times, where he called me back and I told, no, boss, the trust is already gone. So that is the life changing.
It's very important, right?
Yes,
Irrespective of what relationship, friendship, a business owner or a customer, or even a husband and wife, trust is such an important aspect of any sort of growth that you require.
Correct.
Sir, now you got into the real estate industry. I'm pretty sure a few years would have been tough. And at some point of time, you would have seen success.
Correct.
And you also told me that one of your successes was that you sold about 20 apartments in just a small short span. How did you do it? Because I think 20 apartments is big ticket. It's worth crores of money, and you can't do it easily. How did you do it?
See, once I left my previous organization, it's only single person is what I did. And I understand my strength, and at that time digital marketing was one of the tool which gave me a confidence in selling those apartments. One of the landowner share had these 20 apartments. He was struggling, and that time demonetization happened, and that is how I was able to do marketing for him with selling 20 apartments with around 20 crores worth. So that was my success story. After leaving the organization, this was my independent success, what I have done. And later, that landowner was very much happy, and he recommended another builder who was unable to sell his plots worth around 250 crores.
Wow.
And I used all my marketing strategies over there, and in span of 6 months, I sold around 75 plots.
Wow.
So that was the biggest achievement. That gave me confidence that I can take my business into the next level.
So a lot of the plots and the residential properties that you sell are more on the residential line, or you also do commercial as well?
See, mainly my focus, 80% focus is on residential, where I do apartments, plots, villas, row houses, all these kind of stuff. And 20% due to the demand, I started the commercial part. So I do rental properties. So that's all. I don't deal big properties. So I only do rental properties of commercial. Thank you.
That's fantastic. So if you're doing only rental, then you also have a very specific target clientele, right?
Yes.
Who are your clientele? Who do you look for? Because not everybody is going to buy an apartment, or not everybody is going to buy an acre of land.
Correct.
So who's your
See, my target markets are IT employees, where most of the people are getting graduate, they go into the jobs.
Okay.
So they are my target markets, where we plan them to buy an apartment or to invest in a plot.
Okay.
So IT employees and the business class who are doing business nearby, like their business nearby to their places.
Okay.
So these are the two target market for me.
Okay. What's your dream, sir? Because now I feel you're a very successful, knowledgeable person in the industry. You've sold so much. Your track record speaks for itself. So you've done well for now. But where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
See, I want to take my company as the best, top 5 best property consultant in Bangalore. So this is my first 5 years dream.
Okay.
So I want to be a property consultant. Whoever thinks that I want to buy a property, let them consult us so that we give a proper solution for them, where to buy approved properties for them.
Okay.
So that is my 5 years target. And
If I have to increase it to a few more years and say 10 or 15 years?
see, again, aspiration is always good. I want to have our branches across India is my dream.
Okay.
In next 10 years. So it should become like, whenever people thinks that want to buy a property, should consult at least Arohi Realtors.
Fantastic. I'm pretty sure with the kind of effort you're putting in and what is happening around you, the dream will definitely be possible.
Sure.
Sir, and one of the main reasons that this podcast is also happening is because we have a beautiful platform like BNI, which gives us the opportunity to share business, give business, and take business. In a place like BNI, we run by 7 core values.
Yes.
What is that one core value that you can absolutely relate yourself with?
See, what I like the core value is the building relationship. See, in BNI, it's a platform where we build relationship. It's a business relationship where we build, and I've been associated with another BNI chapters where they are also into real estate sector. And we both together had a very good relationship, and we recently had a tie-up with Prudent Marketing Properties, where we have taken worth around 80 crores of property doing together.
Okay.
So that building relationship helps the business also to build.
Okay.
So
how did you meet this person? Was it like you got a referral, or how did you meet this person to do 80 crores of business?
I am part of NAR and CREA, where most of the real estate realtors meet there. And we both met over there, and he was also interested to join BNI, and he joined BNI. And through that, we took the business and relationship into next level.
Okay.
So that is how, we both collaborated each other and started business.
So they say first you become friends and then you become partners
Yes.
in whatever you do, right?
Correct.
So that's great, sir. And I think BNI with its core values has taught us a lot, and building relationships is a very big fundamental. What was your experience and learnings like? Because you have two sets of learnings. I think one as a member, other as a LT or a DC or whatever leadership you role. You were as the ST of our chapter. What did you feel about that, or what were your learnings?
Okay. When it comes to ST role was it was a surprise for me. Like when our chapter was running, my present ST he left in between, and it was like a unexpected ST role given it to me.
Okay.
So I was handling LVH, and this in turn gave us a responsibility, because taking ST role is not a easy thing to manage all the finances of the chapter. So then I taken this ST role, and it gives me a responsibility, accountability for everything. So, and through this ST role, we have been going to LTRT, and we had a good connections over there. Through that, we got more collaborations also. So this ST role gave me a professional growth, in my business.
Yeah, like you said, when you start taking leadership, it gives you responsibility and accountability. Because it's not only about yourself anymore, it is about the people you're working with as well, right? And once you work as a team, you start doing well as well. So moving on. Now, once you finish your ST journey, ultimately you're looking at one business channel in BNI. You have your own marketing ways in social digital marketing, whatever you do. I want to ask you, if a customer walked up to you one day and said, "Sir, somebody referred me in BNI, or I found you on a digital platform. I have 2 CR with me. How can I invest and make some money?" What advice would you give such a person? Let's say it's me itself. What would you say?
Okay. See, what happens, suppose if you are coming with 2 CR, I will definitely ask, do you have your own house?
Let's say yes.
Okay. So if you have your own house, the second point of thing is, what we recommend is to invest in properties which can give you a rental income property.
Okay.
So if you already have a own house, we actually recommend you to have a rental income property. You can split that, diversify that. You can have one property of 1.5 crores of commercial property, and remaining you can invest another 50 lakhs on the developing plots.
Plots.
So that is how we can recommend you as to invest your 2 CR.
Okay. Now let's say if I have to buy you're saying buy a apartment or a
No,
commercial building?
It's a commercial building, rental
commercial,
income
okay,
building.
okay.
So that is what I recommend you, because since you already have your own house, I cannot. It's a wrong thing you go and buy an apartment. So we don't recommend them. So if somebody doesn't have own house, we recommend them to buy an apartment for himself so that he gets settled over there, and then the investment comes.
Correct.
So without your own house, jumping into investment is a wrong thing.
Okay, fair enough. I think that makes a lot of sense, and it's about how you can secure yourself one step at a time, isn't it?
Yes.
Again, sir, in a industry like yours, it's not you mentioned just now that you don't have to just buy, you also have a seller to deal with. So you're dealing with a buyer and a seller, which is a two-sided business. How are you able to manage both sides with the buyer and the seller? Is there any strategy behind it?
As you see our caption, Arohi Realtors, we buy, sell and resell of properties. So when comes with the buy, we understand it's like if you go with normal agents, they tell that buy this property, that property, whatever property they have, they will be able to sell you. But we understand what is that you require. So we understand what budget you have, what is the location preference. So we understand what is that you want. So then we give a particular property to you so that your purpose will be fulfilled over there. So that is for buyers. And sellers, as I told you, investment is also into real estate. If you want to dispose a property, where normally agents will pamper you with the highest price, I can sell at this price. So it's a myth. So actually when a person wants to sell his property, we understand what is the pricing over there, what is the current situation, and who is the buyer. So in that way, the seller also should be comfortable, in selling it. So we make him an easy platform for him to sell his property. So these are the two, buying and selling, both we do it. So both, it's like win-win situation.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great, sir. What are some of the challenges that you have faced in the industry, considering we had a pandemic recently? Any challenges that you faced?
When pandemic was there, most of the people are working from home, and at this situation gave us a more inquiries for us. See, if you see our inquiries have gone up 2x, 3x during pandemic.
Okay.
Because most of the people are working from home, now they can calculate what is the rental they are paying, what is the expenditure they are making, and now they wanted to decide that, no, I don't want to pay rent, let me buy some property. So now the sales have more.
Okay.
So now people are, as our code says, stop paying rent, pay EMI. So people who are paying huge rent are coming and buying the property. Because since RBI has reduced the repo rate, in turn the home loan interest rate has come down. So almost 2.5% has come down past 1 year. And this is an opportunity for home buyers. So it's always good for the people who are looking to buy a property. So that is the one strategy. Is what
Fantastic, sir. Sir, so one last question.
Yeah.
If somebody is coming to you for a specific kind of property, what is your expertise? Is it apartments? Is it plots? What is your expertise?
Our expertise is into meeting your financial goals in real estate. That is what my thing is. So first, what I recommend everyone, first you should have your own house.
Correct.
If you don't have your own house, first you have your own house first. So once you are fulfilled with your house, then go for an investment. Then go for a rental income property. So without that, when you are in rental house, don't think about investment or getting a rental income property, because at this situation you would have been experienced this pandemic. All of them are working from home. So if you don't have your own home, you will be paying huge rent, and the situation always changes.
Correct.
So it's better, I recommend everyone to have their own house first, then go for an investment, then go for a rental income property.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that wonderful insight about how to invest manage your finances into the real estate industry. And I think that's a great takeaway that you gave towards the end, as to first invest into yourself, then make it into an investment, and then spread the eggs into different baskets. Sir, moving on, we have a fun segment right now.
Okay.
We have a rapid fire segment where we're going to shoot some questions, and we expect your answers to be short, crisp, and fast. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so the first question is, what motivates you to get out of bed in the morning?
My daughter.
Your daughter.
She wakes me up, Papa, get up.
She's your alarm also.
Yes, correct.
That's great. Name another business profession you wouldn't mind getting into.
My second business would be I would have been interior designer.
If you were given $1 million, what would you do with it?
See, I'm into real estate sector, so definitely do the investment. I used to diversify them in investment and rental income. So
Fantastic.
multiply that $1 million into
It's
one
your-
more $1 million.
It's your usual success formula anyway.
Yes.
If you're given 3 business leaders who you can go have dinner with, who would it be?
First, it would be Ratan Tata.
Okay.
Is what motivates me. And second is the money.
Ambani. Okay.
Yes. And third would be Sudha Murthy.
Sudhamurthy. Okay, that's fantastic. Sir, if you authored a book, I don't know if you read books, but if you authored a book, what would you call it?
It's lifetime experience. So whatever experience in your life, write a book that makes more success.
What would the title be?
Yeah, it's your lifetime experience.
Your lifetime experience. My lifetime experience.
My lifetime experience.
What is the best advice you ever got?
Best advice is when I was about to sell my property, one of my relative told, wherever it is property, don't sell it. So I've done an investment, never sell it.
Fantastic.
So that advice. Good.
Sir, I also see a couple of pins on your coat.
Yes.
That you're part of so many groups.
Yes.
What is that one community that you'd like to be a part of, or already are a part of, which you really like?
See, I like to be in a CREA group, Confederation of Real Estate Association. So, and NAR. So, these are the two association where we realtors meet. It gives a pleasure to me in be a part of with them. And we have been exchanging business across India already. So, we have been talking, people are realtors in Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad. So, we're all exchanging business over there. So, having a realtor doing business across India makes feel proud.
Fantastic. So, are you a coffee or a tea person?
Definitely coffee.
Coffee, is it? Everybody needs that coffee hit.
Yes.
Indoor or outdoor sports?
Indoor.
Indoor sports. What kind of sport do you play? Indoor.
Indoor mainly carom.
Carom? Okay. If you could teach one subject at school, what would you teach?
Oh my God, this is a tough question. Definitely, it's a geography is what I'm expert in, and I've been topped in PUC in geography subject.
Oh, that's lovely. And I'm pretty sure that's how your inclination towards
Yes.
real estate also
See,
grew.
yeah, that is continuing in real estate also. Yes.
Fantastic. I think we've had a fantastic time in the podcast, sir. And time just flew like this. And I got a lot of understanding about the real estate market, about how your journey began. And I'm pretty sure each one of the viewers have the same. So in summary, if I have to summarize 3 takeaways that I really couldn't take away from this podcast. Number 1, I think no matter where you go, trust is extremely important.
Correct.
It builds the credibility between you and the other person's relationship. Second, accountability. When you take a responsibility, you're not only responsible for yourself, but also for somebody else's actions. That makes you a great leader. I think that's my second takeaway of you being in the ST role. My third and final, my best and my favorite takeaway is the 3-step process that you said. First, invest into yourself, then invest into an investment making machine, and third, invest into, diversify and put it into a land property or something else which will reap you some money through appreciation. I think these 3 takeaways will serve good for each and every person who's watching. Thank you so much for coming on this episode. It's been a pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure that you've gotten your takeaways. So do follow, share, and subscribe down below. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lalit, for giving an opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.